back catalog stuff. Like,
Yeah.
if they could do that right, like, man, they would get so many people.
Mm-hmm.
In the battery life, but...
Right.
So I have started it again. I'm gonna give it like a minute here, because it keeps saying there's it'll just error out and just tell me, like, maybe if I press play game. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll actually start working or something.
I think we're getting somewhere. Monster will.
I'm gonna skip through all dialogue here and just get to the
One that
nitty-gritty
could
of the game.
Enough to wipe their security records.
Okay, there it goes.
There's a lot of people talking about
And
things.
then we can swell them.
Yeah, we'll wait till
okay, I think
once
we're
you
at a
get
good
into
point.
the gameplay, and then I'll. Alrighty, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll bring us back. Alright, and here we are. So, Invisible Inc. Invisible Incorporated, if you want to say the full title. Game number 2 for December 2016 Games of the Month. Invisible Inc. So, boy, I don't know where to start with this one. I hope let's shoot it to you, Mr. Ask Gamer, and kind of lead the charge with Invisible Inc. What do we got going on here?
Yeah, so I think this is another worthwhile example of what Sony offers, all the time pretty much with their service, or at least giving us different options, and they've been doing it a lot. In the last half of 2016, I think they did a lot better job of showcasing that. First half they didn't really do too great of a job, but I think right now Invisible Inc. is really kind of a very cool premise, and it follows along with, kind of like you played a lot more Hitman Go, right? You played that game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I feel like it's close to that in terms of it's like a turn-based game. You have to take turns and navigate your two little guys through basically a corporate building that you're trying to steal all this information from, and then you're attacking guards, and you're trying to think out what you're doing as you're going, and I think that's, in some ways it's like that's the best part about it, is that it's something about challenging yourself to figure out things as you go, yeah, I had a really good time with playing this game. It was one of those things that I didn't expect, like, initially looking at it. I like the art style, I really do. I do think it's really well done, and it's got that nice kind of hard edge look. But yeah, it's a really fun game, and it really can be a very strategic game if you want to spend a lot of time playing it. So you can take it in a whole bunch of levels, and I've only played a few of them, actually, to be honest. So.
Now, I feel like I remember you saying at one point, was this a tablet game first?
I think it is, because like when they list it as like console edition, usually that means that there was.
So it's either tablet or PC. Is the only other thing that I can think of.
Yeah.
Probably. I can definitely see it being either a click and point or point and click kind of thing. Also, I can see if this was on a tablet. I was not 100% sure. One thing that you can see if you're watching the videos, but I mean, even if you're just listening, the one big gripe I had with this game, it was another example of a lot of text going on, and it's really small. It's really hard to read. I mean, even I have a 50. The whole thing.
What do you mean, though? Like, you mean in terms of like the AP and like all the stuff
like,
on
I mean,
the top?
just like, like all the stuff going on, like your little D-pad with your little, like, start doing your select things with the D-pad, all the different options you can do.
Oh, especially in the ones in the bottom
just,
there too.
It starts it's like you have all this content there, but the font's just so stinking small. I mean, I don't know. I had a heck of a time trying to read and follow this stuff. Could be my eyes, but I have a 50-inch TV that I'm playing on, and if I'm still struggling to read some of the stuff on a 50-inch TV, then we kind of got a problem with how you formatted all of this text that's on the screen. I like turn-based games like this. I like the strategy of it. Just like you had mentioned, Hitman Go. But I do like this, how you have a set number of moves that you can do before the opponent or the enemy does whatever it does, and but all the different tools that you have to hack computers and cameras and all these different things is really, really cool. I was a little overwhelmed at times at all the different actions that you can do in your inventory and whatnot. I didn't get too deep into it as I was playing, because after I beat the intro, I quit the game, thought it had saved, came back later, and it didn't save where I left off, so I kind of had to start over, unfortunately. But I really did have a fun time with what I did get to play.
I have enjoyed this game. Like, I think right now, like, I may have picked like the worst level as an example as far as like what I should have picked, because I don't have all the upgrades that I need to really actually play this level. I picked one where I didn't have any of the incognita upgrades, so I don't have a lot of the hacking abilities that I need for this level. So you can see, like, I even jumped into something that I didn't even really think I could actually do right now. But I'm gonna jump into the next turn. I think, yeah, there's there's something to be said about that. You will screw up in this game. It's gonna happen a few times. And I think that's maybe one of the, it's not so bad really when it comes down to it. And it's not the worst thing in the world that you have to take multiple turns just to do something. But it is kind of how the game plays overall, in terms of if you're giving the enemy an advantage by playing that way. Excuse me. So I think the worst part about it is that you could constantly go through this, and I feel like I'm losing my voice right now. Excuse me. But you could constantly go through turn after turn after turn, and not make any progress. So honestly, right now, I'm going to quit this level, because like I really don't think it's a great example of how you can play it anyways.
It absolutely looks like it is a complex level that you were on there. Yeah, and I can definitely see how it would get that way over time, because the little intro that you play, obviously it's not going to be that difficult.
Oh God,
but I was able to see. Can't get it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, from my perspective, I say give it a shot, especially if you like turn-based strategy games, kind of a deal. It's it's in the style of like a board game. You got different spaces. You can only move to certain places and things. I absolutely say give it a shot. Again, it's another one of those that, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, I don't know if I'm going to go back into it and really and beat this thing to the end. But I'm going to keep it in my library. Have it there if I ever do want to go back to that. I mean, when you mentioned Hitman Go, I think it's really funny. They actually brought that out for PS4.
Yeah.
It's out there now, and I find that kind of strange. I'm like, I have it on my iPad, and it's most definitely a tablet game, so I'm kind of interested to see how that translates to a console, because it's really not something I would ever think of playing on a console. But if you've never played Hitman Go, I would say give that a shot. Also, cheap plug for Hitman Go.
Well,
but in regards to Invisible Incorporated, I say give it a shot.
I do think that this game is a definite give it a shot. I think we're not necessarily displaying the best information, at least for you guys to really see. There's other videos on our Games and Gimmicks YouTube page to showcase at least the first level that I played through on this game, and it takes a lot of thought. You got to think through each step, and you got to think about which times you're gonna set an ambush to attack that enemy, and hopefully that enemy comes around that corner to get hit by you, or you have to take down security cameras, or you steal corporate information is basically what you're doing in this game, and it's really cool. It's an interesting nod to some of those like kind of games, or even just that sci-fi universe, that sort of story. I think it's even funny that like one of the characters is named Decker, and like he's clearly that character from Blade Runner. He even drives a cop car that flies and stuff like that. So there's clear like nods to the sci-fi sort of style that this game is doing. But definitely give it a shot. I think if you like thoughtful kind of games where you gotta really think out what you're doing, kind of like Civilization and some of those games there too. Definitely give this game a shot. So I think it's really cool. We got two basically really different games, and they're both give it a shots in their own right because they provide some different type of experience, and I think you're always going to get that with PlayStation, which is really cool, and why we stick by them pretty much. Yeah,
Yep, I absolutely agree. So, all right, well, we have two give it a shots for Invisible Incorporated. Hopefully you've added this to your library. As we record this, it is New Year's Day, so there's you can't go back and get it if you haven't done so. I think that pretty much covers these two games. In the future, we're both, as we mentioned a little earlier, we have the review up for The Last Guardian, so make sure you check that out at gamesandgimmicks.com. I am currently playing through Rise of the Tomb Raider, so at some point we'll have a episode chat about that, maybe even during a What You Playin' Man segment. We both need to finish the last episode of the Batman Telltale series, and when we do that, we will absolutely have a special episode talking about that game and its story, which has been pretty fantastic, I think, so far. So we have a lot of things coming forward. We plan on watching New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 11, which is airing on January 4th. We will probably have to watch it the next day because I don't think I want to start that show at 3 in the morning to watch. And it's like a 4-hour show, so we'll watch that on delay.
Yep.
So we got some good things coming up, and the Rumble is at the end of the month. So we got a lot of great things coming up this month. So it'll be interesting times for games and gimmicks.
Indeed.
Yes. All right. Thanks again. If you were watching the video during this broadcast, thanks. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. For those of you listening, I hope you also enjoyed listening to us talk about these two games. I believe in a couple of days we'll be able to get access to the January PS Plus games, so we'll start a brand new year of free games and get back on track with our monthly broadcasts.
Do you remember what those games were? I remember.
I do not. I looked it up and I immediately forgot what it was.
So and I remember saying it was really good games, but I was like, but one of them is at least a really good game, and they're just continuing their, consistency with this product. So I mean, if you're a PlayStation owner and you don't have PlayStation Plus, like honestly, just go ahead and get it. Like it's gonna be
just get benefit. It. Yep, it's a good deal. A lot of good deals. So. All right, thanks again, gamesandgimmicks.com, and enjoy the rest of your day.
See ya. Bye.